Welcome back. In an abrupt and somewhat surprising move, President Cyril Ramaphosa has cancelled his trip to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. His spokesperson says the decision was made to allow the president to deal with the country's energy crisis. He says, that's Vincent Magwenya, that Ramaphosa will instead be meeting with leaders of political parties, the National Energy Crisis Committee and the Eskom board. The country, as we all know, is currently under stage 6 load shedding, with experts warning that the situation could get much worse in the coming weeks. So for more on the story, we're joined this morning by the CEO of the Black Business Council. Kganki Matabane joins us via our video link this morning. Kganki, thanks for coming on. I mean, that's the question, isn't it? What difference really does it make for Cyril Ramaphosa to stay at home to deal with the energy crisis?
Good morning, Michelle and the ENCA viewers.
Newzroom Afrika, you mean?
Sorry, Newzroom Afrika. Apologies. Yeah, the issue is that, remember, the president did come back previously from international visits, and what has not been done is a plan with the deadlines to say we will do A on this day, we'll do B on this day, we'll do this, and this will be done by this person. If this person doesn't do this, they'll be held accountable in this way. And then also the Eskom board was appointed almost 3 months ago, and they said we should give them 90 days, which we've done, to do a proper diagnostic. And by now they should have found something, and they should have a plan on how they're going to deal with the load shedding. So that is what is lacking. So if the president not going to Davos will result in that, hopefully then that will be a solution. And then we've indicated this many times to the president and other people that the only scientifically proven solution to load shedding is to improve what is called energy availability factor by fixing the current Eskom fleet. If you do anything else, trying to bring solar and all those type of things, those have not been proven to solve load shedding. So we have proposed that should be the focus area. But even though the president did say that is the focus area and that is the priority, we have not seen any implementable plan where we can say this month we've got this plan, we're going to fix power station number 1, next month we're fixing power station number 2, and all those type of things. That is missing.
Yeah, certainly, we're certainly not seeing the kind of urgency, right, that all of us in South Africa are looking for insofar as load shedding is concerned. And then we look at the Sowetan this morning. Kganki, I don't know if you've had a chance to see it this morning, but it's got a list of some of the businesses that have been lost as a direct result of these power cuts, these small businesses who just cannot survive under the burden of stage 6 load shedding. This snapshot is just that. It's a snapshot of businesses in the south of Johannesburg. Who knows what this picture looks like nationally?
Yes, we've spoken to Sowetan yesterday, and our suspicion is that problem is just 1% of the companies that are affected by load shedding. And again, going back to your question, we've been hearing this, we will fix Eskom since 2019. We are now in 2023, and nothing much is happening. So unless we stop talking and start implementing and start coming up with a plan that is implementable, but also implement it, because it's one thing to have a plan, but it's something completely different to actually implement it. And then we haven't seen that for the past 4 or 5 years. We've always had promises. This is urgent, but South Africans are actually tired of hearing stories and hearing plans and hearing promises. What we need electricity. And as we said, you can only stop load shedding and make sure South Africans have got electricity by improving the current Eskom fleet. And we don't think there's enough focus on that. There's too much talk, but there's not enough focus on implementing the actions that needs to be implemented.
And of course, there's plenty of analysis around how we got here. And part of that analysis is that this was always the plan. The plan was always to get Eskom to a stage where the only other option would be privatization.
I'm not sure, because even privatization, I don't think it's going to solve the problem. We've got an engineering problem that needs to be solved by engineers. I'm not sure, just like splitting Eskom into three is not going to solve anything. We're keeping ourselves busy with peripheral issues. We've got the engineering problem, we have to solve it in an engineering way. Any other way of trying to solve it through public relations and making statements is not going to solve the problem.
There's also hundreds of, as you talk about the issue around engineers, Kganki, hundreds of vacancies at Eskom. That's on the one hand. And then, of course, on the other hand, there is that March deadline. Who will replace Andre de Ruyter?
I think who replaces him is not, it's neither here nor there. The issue is what type of a person replaces him, or what skills and attributes of the person who replaces him. That is the important part, because we need someone who's a fixer. We need someone who will be able to fix Eskom. The director has failed. I don't know why they're even keeping him there, because you will know if you have done well, then at least you can do what is called you can do a handover. But I don't know what is handing over, because he has drastically failed. So why are you keeping someone who's failed? I don't know why, or what is the logic, because he has done nothing, so whatever is handing over will be a failure.
Kganki, the World Economic Forum kicks off in Davos today. We now know the president won't be there, but Team South Africa certainly is there. The finance minister and his team will be making their representations at the World Economic Forum. It's a big job, isn't it, to go there and try and sell South Africa as still being a viable investment destination?
Yes, I really feel for the Minister of Finance, because how do you sell a country that cannot guarantee energy security, and you sell it to investors? Which investor is going to come to South Africa and invest with the uncertainty that is caused by Eskom? How do you come and put a smelter here, for example, or a manufacturing plant without knowing whether you're going to have electricity or not? It's a very, very difficult job. But again, he's a Minister of Finance. He has to do it.
Yeah, big job there. And, of course, our team is on the ground in Davos, bringing us all of those updates. CEO of the Black Business Council, Kganki Matabane, pleasure talking to you this morning. Thanks for coming on.